Hello there.
Hello there.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good, and yourself?
Good.
Cool. Just playing some Floyd.
Oh.
Yeah.
What Floyd were you playing?
Well, I was playing Comfortably Numb. I was just start playing Us and Them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's gonna mellow out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
sorry for the late start here.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm very behind at work. Playing catch up, trying to get caught up.
So what's with all these streams?
I don't know,
Is
man.
that the culmination of all of it together, or is that just as for the month?
Yeah, well, I posted this on my page cryptically on my Facebook page. Some people think I'm probably talking about sports, football, or soccer or something.
What's that?
I posted what I sent to you, which were the numbers.
Right.
The not the numbers, but the Sweden, all that stuff.
Right.
I posted that on my Facebook feed, and I said, "Anybody know what this is?" And I think people are thinking it's like some political thing, or they're like, no, it's just the numbers. So for those listening now, just hit a milestone on the podcast, which honestly I didn't know if I'd ever get there. So the numbers are. Once upon a time, I used to be able to count my streaming numbers. So I did a little bit of math, and I don't know how exact the streaming numbers are, but my streaming numbers aren't reported anymore, which really sucks because the majority of the people that listen to the podcast are streaming.
Right.
Not a lot of people download these days because why bother? You know, you've got unlimited data on your phone, or you're using Wi-Fi, and like, why would you ever download all of these things to your phone and take up all of your valuable room on your phone by downloading? But anyway, back in the day when I was getting about 20 to 40 downloads a month,
Right.
which I was excited about those numbers. Those were excellent numbers. I remember when I crept up to that number. I mean, I started out getting like, I might get a download or two per episode.
Right.
And I climbed up to about 4 or 5 per episode. But when I thought I was at my peak, but I wasn't. But when I was at my peak, I was getting about 20 to 40 downloads a month, and
Right.
they reported streaming numbers back then. So at those streaming numbers, I was getting 1,200 to 1,700 streams per month.
Wow.
So the equivalent download was, for 20 to 40 downloads, I would get about 1,200 to 1,700 streams. So my download numbers are much higher now. They're at least double or triple that.
Right.
So, pretty close to 100 downloads a month. So if you extrapolate that, I think we're at about 40,000 streams a month.
Wow.
Or sorry, no, not 40. No, not a month. Sorry. My total history is 40,000 a month.
Okay, I was going to say that's like,
no.
holy crap, man.
No, so about 40,000 total. But I mean, that might be under. Like, the thing is, like, I can't just multiply it by a factor of X to say.
Yeah, no.
Because the way devices are going nowadays, you buy a computer nowadays, or a laptop specifically, and you get no memory. You might have, in the old days, not that long ago, you get a terabyte of space on your computer. And nowadays, You're getting like 64 gig or, on a laptop nowadays. That's your storage space, because you're expected to do everything on your cloud. You're not going to put music on your computer anymore. You're going to stream the music. You're not going to download podcasts on your computer anymore. You're going to stream it. There's Wi-Fi everywhere and Wi-Fi hotspots. So my number is probably much larger than that, but I've got no way of measuring it because my Podbean doesn't think that that's an accurate portrayal anymore.
Well, when you stream, I think there's still a bit of a drop in quality, because I think, like, if you go to what's one of those places that has their music,
like iTunes or
no, I had a tip on my tongue and I lost it. Those streaming ones, but when you stream it doesn't stream at, say, 9200 kilohertz, whatever the thing,
it's like
the
so much lower
120
quality
bit or whatever. Yeah, the quality is lower because now it's streaming, so now it's trying to adjust as per whatever either your download speed is or whatever that they're downloading at. And it's Spotify, that's the one. Because I have it on my computer at work, and I streamed our album, and I was listening to it going, the sound quality is terrible. It's just kind of muddled versus, the actual song.
That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. But when it comes to podcasts, you can use your data and stuff, or being a podcast, you can download it, like you said.
Yeah.
And I would download a couple of, say, Joe Rogan's, for example, and then I would listen to them in the truck. I wouldn't have to actually stream it or live, feed it in, because I just download it to my phone, and like for this podcast, be the same thing. Like, you could download them, save them, and play them later, and especially if you're in a place where there's limited data.
Yeah, like for example, when I go to Lac Du Bonnet, I get no data up there. I'm completely off the grid. And often what I'll do is, because I'm working outside up there, and I'll just, I'll pop a podcast on, but if I got to stream it, I can't, because, I just can't.
Yeah.
So I like to download, but it sounds like the majority of people don't. So I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know how accurate my numbers are, but we just broke 1,000 downloads, and if you extrapolate, just based on the old numbers, my lifetime total of streams are at 40,000. Assuming the old numbers from 2.5 years ago are accurate. But if it's trending the way it should be, if you got a calculator in front of you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Run an experiment. Just like we did on the Spotify episode, or the Ed Sheeran episode that we did.
There must be some type of I'm sure there's someone out there listening who's going, oh yeah, you should use this either program or something that you could use so it could actually calculate your downloads.
See, the other podcast program. Well, I looked at the other podcast programs. I don't get me wrong, I'm very happy with Podbean. Very, very happy.
Right.
Like I can do delayed posts. I've got unlimited uploads. Like I could upload 70 episodes a month if I want. There's no limit. And I don't even have the premium plan, so I'm very, very content. The quality's good. They let you design your own website where you can host. Like it's really well done. Like I have no issues. My only complaint is that streaming number, which they send an email saying, "Hey, we're taking this away. It's not an accurate reflection of how to measure your podcast. We're not using it."
So throw me some numbers.
Okay, so
and I'll put them in.
Okay, so based on the old data,
right?
For so my low point was 12,000 streams a month, and the equivalent was 20 downloads. So if you divide 1,200 by 20.
Okay, so 1,200 divided by 20.
Yeah.
And that would give us 60.
That's your ratio.
Okay.
So now, if you based on that ratio alone,
right,
1,000 downloads times that number. What you said, 20?
Well, no, 60.
60.
So you divided. 60. We divided 20 into 1,200.
Yeah.
Okay, so that gives us 60. So now you're going to multiply 60 by
1,000.
By 1,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just had some zeros there. So that's so you get 60,000.
So so not 40,000 downloads. So that'd be based on that number. That's 60,000 lifetime download, 60,000 streams that I've had. Or conversely, if what I'm hearing in the industry is true, and people are streaming more than downloading, let's just say people are doing it twice as much. So that number was 60, right? So 60 times, so 120 is double. And take 120 times 1,000.
So 120 times 1,000 will add much more zeros. So that's so it's 120,000.
So potentially, if what they're saying is true, that's how many streams we have, lifetime streams.
Wow.
Assuming what they're saying is true. So worst case scenario, we're at 60 grand. I thought it was 40 grand, but we're at 60,000 to 120,000.
Okay.
Streams.
Okay.
My head is spinning, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if those numbers are accurate, that's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like there's no other word for it. That's just
okay. So let's look at the other scenario, is that nobody's downloading or nobody's streaming anymore. Everybody's downloading. I don't think that's the case, but let's assume that's the case. So let's take that number. That 60 was the number, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Let's go half. So 30. So 30 times 1,000 is 30,000 streams.
30,000, yeah.
That's still freaking impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So, okay, so I just want to say thank you to the people out there listening.
Oh yeah, if this is accurate, I mean, there's 30,000 thank yous to go.
Like even if it's the lowest number, like that's way. I don't know. I'm humbled. Because this.
Yeah, honestly, I can't see that being that much. But hey, if it is, that kind of blows your mind when you think about it. Like anybody listening out there going, hey, 30,000 of anything is a lot.
Yeah. Regardless, there's a lot of people listening, and thank you, like thank you so much.
Yeah, like Fraser Crane would say.
Yes. Fraser Crane.
I'm listening.
Yes. I am listening. Yes. So anyway, if there's any advertisers out there, regardless, those are impressive numbers. If anybody wants to advertise on the show, yes, we'll shill. We're not going to advertise for something we are diametrically opposed to, but we do have an audience. So people, I'd like to see advertisers on the show, or if people want to, donate on the Patreon page. This podcast is not free. It costs us money, and it all comes out of, well, I guess my pocket. Todd's along for the ride.
With that?
Todd's along for the ride. That's okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People like that.
But that's okay. Like, I just want to say, like, we appreciate everybody that's out there. But anyway, let's get to the topic. I'm actually half the way home.
Okay.
So, which of those two things did you want to talk about? Because they're both very, very interesting.
I kind of wanted to talk about Jason Becker a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
He's.
Who's in Jason Becker? You would know his name actually probably better than I would. So tell our audience who this guy is.
Well, you know what? I've never really followed his career closely, but I do know he was. I mean, he was the guitarist for Ozzy for a while, and
did he play for Ozzy?
Well, yeah, that was where I heard him from. I mean, Bark at the Moon.
Oh, no, that's Jakey Lee.
Oh, my God. I'm thinking of the...
Oh, that's awesome. You just pulled the dad.
Oh, I pulled something.
Yep. Yeah, no, not the same guy. Jakey Lee is alive and well.
Jason Becker.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Now I'm totally lost.
Okay, so Jason Becker Becker was the guitar player in Racer X with Paul Gilbert. Or was it Marty? No, Marty Friedman, sorry. Oh, damn
Marty
it.
Friedman?
Yeah. Or was it Cacophony? Damn it. No, I'm not sure.
Well, as we've said before, usually our topics, I usually know nothing about them.
Yes.
and
I know half as much as you know. Or the other way around.
I get mistaken identity.
Yeah. But one thing I do know for sure, I was introduced to Jason Becker from David Lee Roth. So David Lee Roth had left Van Halen, and he did 2 albums with Steve Vai on it. And those albums were like the musicianship on those 2 albums were like stupid. It was so freaking amazing. Like, he got the best of the best, and the playing is just out of this world.
What album did he play with?
With Roth?
With Roth, yeah.
Well, he had the song called Slam Dunk. Like, that was Jason Becker. And Jason Becker, I think at the time was 20 years old. So he was hired to replace, I think it's the Little Ain't Enough. I think it's the 3rd album, or the 3rd or 4th album Dave did.
Okay, so after Vi left.
It was after Vi left, yeah. I think Jason Becker was to be the replacement guitar player. Right. And then during the recording of it, he was feeling like limp's not the right word, but he was getting like a lazy finger, and he was having trouble playing. So they switched to, now I don't know if this is, I could be a little off on some of the information, but so he started playing with a lighter gauge string, and just assumed, I think there was an assumption that, maybe, like this guy could imitate Yngwie Malmsteen with his eyes closed. Like, he could play faster than Yngwie Malmsteen. Like, this guy was ridiculous at 20 years old.
Okay, so him and Paul Gilbert were both the same type of player then.
Right, and Marty Friedman, like all those guys, the neoclassical style.
Yeah.
Paganini, playing Paganini on guitar, like that kind of thing.
Right.
So anyway, he, at 19, 20 years old, he joins David Lee Roth. Like, I don't know if Dave went after him or whatever the story was, but this is going to be his big break. Because, even though there was a following for shredders, the real money is playing, with a David Lee Roth or an Ozzy or whatever, right? That's where the real money is. That's where you get your real recognition. Because otherwise you're just, a stunt guitarist playing, stunt music in a way, like just crazy fast. You're not going to hit a mainstream audience. So he joined David Lee Roth, and it was like, holy, there's this big break.
Notoriety, yeah.
Yeah, so then he went and checked himself out and realized he had ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. So he finished his work on the David Lee Roth album. He wasn't able to do the whole album. They brought in Steve Hunter and another guitar player.
Okay.
Steve Hunter, I'm trying to remember who that is. He's a really good guitar player. He might be Alice Cooper guitar player or something. I think he ghosted on some Kiss stuff too. But he came in, and another guy came in. They were like older guitar players, like more like Dave's age.
Right.
And they came and finished the album. After that, Becker started working on his solo album, and got through as much as he could, playing lighter gauge strings. And what he couldn't complete in the end, he finished off on keyboard. After that, he lost the ability to walk, to move his hands, and then eventually he lost the ability to speak. So he's like not a quadriplegic per se. He's got like just can't move. So the only thing he can do is move his eyes.
Right.
That's all he has.
Yeah, I actually watched because when you had mentioned that, I remember seeing an article somewhere, and actually it was you that wrote it. And then I found on my Facebook page there was a link talking about him. So I went to I think it was a YouTube video of his new album, and it was
a single or whatever, like 10-minute song or whatever.
Yeah, and it had different people playing his music. So he was writing the music, and he had all these people play it for him.
Yeah, like he's composed the whole album. Like, he actually has a program where he can compose, like put all the notes down in sheet music using only his eyes. So, you know, like up, down, down, left might be an F sharp. And then, you know, a different combination is an F flat. And another combination is a C, you know, it's a C major or whatever.
Right. Like, and my God, he is so fortunate to have been able to express himself, like, because once you have ALS and you get to a certain point, I mean, I saw on the actual video at around the end, I think it showed he had a trick tube, and like he still had the hair and the stuff. Oh, you could tell he was paralyzed, but he was there. But to be able to express himself, like, how many people do you know? Well,
they give him 3 years to live.
Yeah, but I mean, people with people with ALS, I mean, they just slowly kind of not disintegrate, but their limbs start to, you know, they seize up, and you can do less and less. But and just the outlook of how you have to have something, you know, to occupy your mind and to be able to.
Because your mind is still sharp.
Yeah,
he never let his mind go. He's been composing the entire time. It just takes forever.
He found an outlet.
Yeah,
he was able to find an outlet. Yeah, and that's awesome. That's awesome. And everybody, you know, and God forbid, like people who have it, ALS. I mean, to find something that they can actually still express themselves, even though they're not totally, you know, mobile type thing.
Like this guy, awesome. Like that guy's a hero, man. Like I'm just blown away. So that song's really good. Like that song's good. I will be buying the album. I will actually go get a copy because, like, it's expensive to have ALS. It's very expensive to have it.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I mean, you know,
that's
and for the effort he put, like just. I don't know. I'm saying even if you don't like the album, you should go buy it. But it is quite good. Like, and to get the quality guitar players, you saw in that video, the quality guitar players he has. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, I think he'd even mentioned, like, everybody had given a quote or whatnot, and I think it was a Joe Bonamassa hadn't put one in, but the only reason why was because that he hadn't, I guess, he didn't have time to get any input from him because I guess he was on tour.
Oh, okay.
But he did play on the album, so he was very thankful of that. But it was, you know, just because there was nothing in the video that had his quotes, it wasn't because that he didn't want to. It was because that, you know, I think he was on tour and he hadn't, gotten that information before he released the video. So.
Yeah, and you can actually, like, recording nowadays, you can just, like, people wouldn't have needed to even go to his home to record the parts. But I think there's one guy, I can't remember, one of the guys in the video, he did it in one take. Maybe it was Steve Hunter. Did it one take or whatever. And it's like, it's just it's almost like I didn't play that part. That part played me, sort of thing. Like, right. I don't know. So I saw that video, and ever since, I don't know when I saw the video, last week or whatever, I've been listening to Racer X. So he must have been Racer X, but I'm listening to Racer X. I listened to, there was a Jason Becker Greatest Hits thing. So it had a bunch of stuff from Solo, I guess Racer X, David Lee Roth. It had all, like, a whole album, like a Greatest Hits thing. It was just put out in 2008. So I was listening to that a lot. Then I actually started listening, going back and listening to Yngwie Malmsteen. Like, he's been putting albums out consistently for forever. So I started listening to that. I started listening to the older stuff. And then I started listening to Paul Gilbert, because I know Paul Gilbert from Mr. Big.
Right, Mr. Big, yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, like, this guy's a shredder? Like, and I'm listening to his stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy's amazing.
Well, he was only 18, 19 at the time, too.
Well,
he wasn't
very old
a kid,
either. Too. Yeah, he was a kid, too, for sure. So, but his solo stuff, like, it's not Mr. Big at all. It's really, really amazing. So, anyway.
Well, you go out on your own.
What's that?
It's just like, it says when you go out on your own, just like Steve Vai, like when they go out on their own, the music sounds way different because it's strictly their input, right?
Yeah.
So it's their raw music. That's them. Yeah. You can hear the influences in the music they play with others, but when you play just with them alone, you can really tell the differences.
Yeah. Anyway, I was stunned at how good this guy was at 16, 17 years old. the stuff he was playing at that age, I don't know, like he was outspeeding Yngwie Malmsteen, but he also he had a very soulful style. So even though he was playing technically fast stuff,
right?
He's just really solid. So one more, I'm actually at home. I guess I gotta sign up, but I did want to say one more thing. And I'm going to recommend this to you. Is I listened to the new Slash album. It came out like this week, last week, whatever. Slash and with Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators.
Okay.
Which has Brent Fitz in it, right? Brent Fitz from Winnipeg and Todd Kearns from Saskatchewan.
Okay.
Yep. Did you know?
You're suggesting that I listen to it?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. So what was it called?
It's Slash's new album. If you look for Slash, it'll pop up. But
that's the name of the album?
Well, that's the name of the Slash from Guns N' Roses, right?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, like the Snake Pit and the other ones that he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So his other band, which he's done a bunch of albums with, has Myles Kennedy, and then he's got the two Canadian boys.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So they just put a new album out, and I was listening to it because I'm not a Slash fan. I do like Guns N' Roses. I do.
Are you saying Flash or Slash?
Slash.
Okay, because I'm hearing Flash.
Oh, no, that's
in
his
the phone.
cousin.
I'm thinking Flash.
That's his cousin.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah, Flash Gordon.
He's got a music out now.
Yeah.
He plays drums. Yeah,
that's awesome. No, it's Slash from Guns N' Roses. So. Right. I mean, I've always liked his playing, and I've listened to a lot of his old stuff, of course, the Guns N' Roses stuff, and I really like it. Like, I love his tone and everything, but I haven't really listened to anything post Guns N' Roses. Just a couple like singles here and there. But I was listening to this album, and it's like, when did Slash become a technical player? He is technically. Like, yeah, he's like like one of the best field players of all time. Like very Joe Perry or, like that style of, Pink Floyd, that just feel playing. But he was playing some technically proficient stuff on this. And I didn't know he could do that.
Well,
I was really impressed. Like, you need to check it out. Like, it's more along your vein of the stuff that you like.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he's progressed.
Yeah,
like as years gone on, I mean, he's progressed. I mean, look at Ace Frehley. Like when he was playing with Kiss, like he was very basic. There was nothing.
Oh yeah.
There was nothing super flashy about it. But when he did his solo album,
1, 2, it was
Yeah, but when he did his solo album, that was a whole different thing, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean,
he was allowed to actually play. I think sometimes Kiss held him back because we don't want too much flashiness.
Well, because I think I heard it because you had the album, and I heard it. I was like, that doesn't sound like Ace Frehley. Like that's way more technical than what you would normally hear. In let's say a top 40 band, not all flash and pan type thing. But he's got some wicked chops.
Yeah, no, he does, and he's actually playing even better now that he's been sober for 12 years. Like he's playing even better now. Like.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I would recommend. There's a new Ace album coming out on the 19th, which is tomorrow. Oh, that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah. And consistently, Ace he's put out. Now this is his 4th album he's put out in the last short while.
Right.
And his last albums, the last 3, are really really good. Actually, they're. Compared to the Kiss albums, there's only been 2 Kiss albums that have come out in the last forever. They outdistance the Kiss albums by far. Way better songwriting. He's not trying to sound like he did before. There's some evolution. It still sounds like Ace, but there's more elements to it because he was more melodic than Gene and Paul were, I find. But anyway, so the new album drops tomorrow, the 19th of October, and then that new Jason Becker. I'm not sure when that's out, but I think it's coming out this month. And then the new Slash album with Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators. Go check that out. That I was really I didn't care about the singing or anything else. I was like, oh my god, the technicality. It was sometimes it's like math metal. I don't know if that's the right word, But just listening to the technical, sometimes I just want to watch somebody play technically.
Yeah,
you know,
you see the fingers flying all over the place, not missing a beat or a stroke, which is.
But he still has this feel though, so it was reminiscent of the Jason Becker in a way. I mean, it's not the same kind of music, at all, but it had that technicality with that great level of feel. Like it was really, I don't know. Like I'm thinking, I still like buying CDs, so I might actually pick up the new Slash album. I'm definitely going to pick up Jason Becker for sure, and of course I always buy the Ace albums when they come out, so I'll probably pick that up too.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll sign off there. This episode will be posted, I don't know, whatever Saturday is. Saturday on Patreon. If you're a Patreon, please subscribe. You can get the episodes early. You can get the Meet the Geeks cartoon strips early. You also get a bunch of free stuff. So if you want to do that, you can. You can contact us through the website, SeanMcGinnity.ca, or Twitter at SeanGeek, or Instagram. Just look for Sean McGinnity, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. I think you can also
SeanMcGinnity.ca.
Yeah, just go there. You can find everything there.
Everything is there.
What do you we need to set you up with some, like a Twitter handle or something, or something.
Who, me?
Yeah. People don't want to talk to me. They want to talk to you. See if FastFretFingers is taken.
I'm not a big Twitter pated, or what do they call it?
Pageter.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna sign off here and go and see my kids and wife.
All right then.
All right.
So we shall talk to you later.
We'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Okay. Bye.